Welcome, intermediate algebra students, to your first video of the year. I'm glad you're watching this. Remember to make a comment on the Google Classroom page. Tell me you did so I know, and it makes me happy. Okay, we're going to start with this first Learning Target 1B. Not that Learning Target 1A is not important, but you should look through your terms and hopefully be comfortable with those terms. Okay, so here we go. We're going to work with order of operations. Don't forget, you know hopefully by now that PEMDAS is what we use for order of operations here, okay? So when we do the order of operations, we always start with the P first and work our way through. So in here, fight the urge to do different stuff and literally look in the parentheses. You can do something, so take it slow. So that means I'm gonna leave the 8 here. I'm gonna leave the plus, leave the 4, leave everything the same, except for I'm gonna make 2 plus 5, 7, and I still have the exponent of 2. So I'm just doing 2 plus 5 and making it 7. Now we don't work left to right because order of operations says exponents come next. So nothing in the parentheses. We got to do this exponent first. So I leave a lot of the problem the same. So show a lot of work. It really helps you. But now I have 49 right there. And there's a multiplication in there. So I only have 2 operations left, addition and multiplication. So I have to do this multiplication first. It comes first in the order of operations. So I leave the 8 plus till the very end. 4 times 49, well, I know that 50 times 4 is 200, and I'm 1 times 4 short of that, so that's going to be 196. And then I finally add those two together, and that's where I'm getting my answer of 204. Okay, that was evaluating a problem with order of operations. All right, same here, still in the parentheses. So look here, I'm literally going to make the 2 minus 1 a 1 first, leave it cubed, minus 3, and divide by 10. And then, in the parentheses, can't do anything, but I can do the exponent. 1 cubed is just 1 times 1, which is 1. And then minus 3 over 10. And then there's nothing to do on the bottom, so I keep working on the top. That becomes, throw in some equal signs here. Doesn't make it an equation, just saying that each step is equivalent. So negative 2 over 10. And I'm running out of space on the page, but you always want to reduce, and that's negative 1 over 5. All right, moving along here. There are not 2 possible answers to these. It's one answer. We got to make sure we're doing them the right way. So in here, we need to be very careful. 2 minus 8, that's negative 6. But that has to be in parentheses. Negative 6 squared. That's all I do is make that a negative 6. Very simple. I keep the times 2 plus 5 at the end. I can't do any of that yet. Negative 6 squared. The entire negative 6 squared is negative 6 times negative 6, right? Which is 36 times 2 plus 5. And here we are again. Multiplication comes first. So I do 72. And then finally I add 5 at the end. And I get 77. All right, look in here. Oh, we got brackets. And we got parentheses. All right, so we work right in here. And while we're working in there, we are not changing anything else. Fight the urge to make this a 10. You can't do that yet. You got to work inside. I have a negative 2 right here. And on the inside, I'm literally just going to do 9 plus 5 parenthesis bracket. That 3 squared is all I did. I made it a 9. Now technically you could distribute the negative 2 through here. That would be fine. But I don't want to do that because I can actually do this computation in the parentheses. So I have negative 2 times 9 plus 5 is 14. And I'm still working on the inside. So now I have 12 minus 2 bracket, and that comes out to negative 28 on the inside. And there's a lot of minuses in here, but I'm going to change colors here. Realize there's a multiplication right there. You got to realize that multiplication right there. So what happens is you can't do the 12 minus 2 yet. You do the 12, and then it's minus 2 times negative 28. Well, negative 2 times negative 28 is really addition, and 28 times 2 is 56. So then I'm running out of room here, but this is going to be 56 plus 12 because minus and negative, right, became the addition, and that was multiplication. So we have 68. Hopefully this is helping you and you're getting better at these. All right, different now. The opposite of 10 squared. This does not say negative 10 squared. It would look like this. Whoops. It would look like that if it said negative 10 squared. And that would be 100. But this says negative 100. This says the opposite of 10 squared. So that's all I'm doing in the first step. We have 3 times 4 plus 5. And then hopefully now I'm noticing that the next thing I need to do is that multiplication. So what I have now is still negative 100 plus 3 times 4, which is 12, and then plus 5. Now all I have is addition, so I just work left to right. Negative 100 plus 12 is going to give me negative 88, and then I'm going to add 5, and I'm going to get negative, 83. Okay, some of these problems are similar to what we've been working on. They're all similar to what we've been working on. Some are even the same. We just got to be comfy with working through the order of operations. All right, looking here on the bottom, top and bottom are basically separated right now. So really, if you want to make that bottom an 8 right away, no worries, because that's all you can do on the bottom. But the top, we got to do those multiplications first. 2 times 8 is 16, and then negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. So plus a negative 16 or just minus 16, however you like that. And that's going to come out to 0 over 8. Okay, if you ever struggle, use your calculator. But 0 divided by 8 is always going to come out to 0. If 0's on top, then the answer is going to be 0. If 0's on the bottom, guess it. Yep, you got it, hopefully. Undefined. All right, moving along to learning target 1C. This is like those ones, but now we're putting values in. Okay, I'm going to put values in and then do the order of operations. So you're going to see me replace with parentheses here. So the x is actually negative 2. So here we go, negative 2 plus, and then the y is a positive 2. So I'm putting that there, squared, all over x squared, which is negative 2, squared, and then minus 4. So I'm replacing everything with parentheses, and now I'm pretending that I'm not really substituting values in, I'm just doing the problem. So order of operations on the top says, well, just leave the negative 2. Parentheses can drop at this point because there's no exponent, there's no multiplication. And then I'm going to have plus 4 because I want to do the exponent first. And then on the bottom, same thing. Negative 2 squared is actually also 4, and I have minus 4 there. So I'm going to see what this is coming out to, and we were just talking about it in the last learning target, 2 divided by 0. So there's 2 ways to write this. You go, hey, I can't have it, or basically you can write out the word undefined. Okay, there's an undefined value there, 2 divided by 0. All right, moving on to this one. Now I have 2 times my x value. Just do that first and then say, what's x? Oh, x is 1, so I put in a 1. And then I'm going to times it by my y value, which has to be squared. So my y value is negative 3. So be careful there. That's in parentheses. And then minus 10 times the x value of 1, and then times the y value of negative 3. So left to right. Here we go now. Got to do this order of operations, exponents first. So I have 2 times 1 times 9. Minus 10 times 1 times negative 3. So I just took care of the exponent in that one step. Now, when you have multiple multiplications, we just want to go left to right. So I'm going to do this a little bit faster. What's 2 times 1? 2 times 9, 18. So we want to do all that multiplication first. And then we're going to have minus, what's 10 times 1? 10 times negative 3, negative 30. Which actually, minus a negative is going to turn into our addition. And that's how we get a final answer of 48. Okay, I hope this is helping. Next page, hopefully. Here we go. Okay, so looking here now, we're jumping to combining like terms is basically what you're doing here. Simplifying algebraic expressions is combining like terms, but what you have to do is get the parentheses gone first. They're already gone in this first one. So it's great, just combining like terms, put these two together. Guess what? I got 8 of them, I got negative 8 of them. There's none left. And then I like to go in descending order with the exponent, so I'm going to do the 7x squared first. It does not mean you have to, okay guys? So 7x squared is taken care of, and then you can see I have same variables right here. I have positive 9 of them. I have negative 11 of them. Don't add 11 to both of these. This is not an equation. Just say, I got 9, I take away 11. Oh, that's negative 2. So I have negative 2 x's. And that's it. Final answer right there. Okay, over here I can't combine yet. I have to distribute. So negative 2 times x. Sound effects are awesome, aren't they? Are you smiling? Are you smiling? You are watching a math video. Yay! Okay, sorry. Back to the math. Negative 2 times x plus negative 8. I'm just going to write minus 8. Make sure the negative goes with it. Same here. Make sure the negative 6x gets distributed. Negative 6x times x is a negative 6x squared because we're multiplying, the powers change. Negative 6x times 1, well, anything times 1 is itself, so there we go. And now, again, I like descending order, so I'm going to start with this one. There's no other x squared terms, no like terms with that, but there is a like term to the x. So I've got negative 2x's, I got negative 6x's, I actually have a bunch of negatives, I got negative 8x's. And then we just got to slap on the negative 8 because it doesn't have any like terms, any other constant terms there. So that's it, right there, final answer. Yay. All right, here, it doesn't matter if the multiplication is in the back or the front. If you don't like looking at it in the back there, write it here and get rid of it here. Nothing wrong with that. And then distribute it through. So either way you do it, you're going to get 20x minus 10 on the top, and on the bottom is just a 2. And now you want to make sure that 2 goes with each of these terms. And actually, you can take a 2 out of everything. This 2 becomes a 1, this 20 becomes a 10, and this 10 becomes a 5. And you definitely have to simplify this all the way. So that would be 10x minus 5, just like that. All right, in here we got brackets, we got parentheses. I'm so confused. Start on the inside. I can't put anything together there, which means I'm going to have to distribute. And I'm going to have to just try to show this here. I'm just going to have to distribute the negative through first. Okay, so look what this looks like. I got 2x minus 4. Don't touch any of this stuff on the outside till later. Then I have 6. The negative comes through, so I have minus 3x. Then the negative comes through again. Negative times a negative is a positive, and I'm positive about that. And then we have that. So now on the inside, we want to combine like terms. I have 2x minus 4, bracket, 6 and 5 make 11 minus 3x. I have brackets. Well, it's the same as parentheses. So at this moment now, seeing too much of that color, we have to bring this through. But what's this? This is the entire negative 4. So when we go through this problem now, 2x stays the same. That's great, 2x. But now negative 4 times 11, that gives me negative 44. Negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12x. And then put the x's together. I've got 12 and 2, so I really have 14x minus 44. And that's our final one there. Hopefully that helped. One more learning target to talk about here, the absolute value, which we know is basically just distance from 0 on a number line. So when we look here, we got to work on the inside first. All right, so here I go. I'm going to do the opposite of 4 squared. I'm not even going to do that yet. Plus 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do inside the parentheses first. Now I got this exponent. Well, here we go. The opposite of 4 squared. It's not negative 4 squared. It's the opposite of 4 squared. So that's going to be negative 16 on the inside. Plus a negative 1. I can just put a minus 1 if I want to there. So on the inside, we're going to have negative 17. These are not parentheses. They're absolute value bars. So what do they mean? It means how far is negative 17 from 0 on a number line? Hopefully you would say 17. But then this says, wait, you got to take the opposite of that answer. So the final answer is negative 17 in this situation. I'm going to go back to a different color if that green doesn't show real well. So here we go. A little different. Now we are squaring negative 5. So negative 5 times negative 5 is just 25. And then we subtract 25, takes the absolute value. Easy one. We got 0. How far is 0 from 0 on the number line? It's not any distance. There is no distance. The answer is 0. Okay, and here 2 minus 2 is 0. So I'm going to do the 0 squared and leave minus 40 in there, all in the absolute value bars. What's 0 squared? Well, I believe that's 0, isn't it? So I'm going to go a little faster here. 0 minus 40 is just negative 40. Do not leave your answer like this. Remember, how far is negative 40 from 0 on a number line? 40, and that's our final answer. All right, a little intense here at the end. We got a negative on the outside. We'll just keep it there. On the inside, no parentheses. Better be looking to exponents. So the first thing I'm going to do is the 4 minus, I'm just going to write 8 times 3 plus 7 times 2 minus 8. Now that I took care of the exponent, I go to multiplication and division. There is some of that. So left to right, here we go. Leave 4 minus. 8 times 3 is 24. Leave the plus sign, not touching it. Oh, multiplication. So I'm going to make that a 14. And then minus 8. Now all we have is addition and subtraction. So left to right. So now I have 4 minus 24. I believe that's negative 20. Plus 14 minus 8. And then running out of a little bit of room here. Still negative on the outside. Left to right. Negative 20 plus 14. Negative 6. Minus 8 stays out there. All right, opposite of minus 6 minus 8 makes negative 14. Absolute value. What is the absolute value of negative 14? That's the distance. Negative 14 is from 0, which is 14, but the opposite of that. So the final answer is negative 14. Okay? Hopefully, if you came into this video and you were feeling a little bit like this, you are now feeling more so like this. Okay? Try your best. You watching these videos is helping you. Thank you, and have a good night.